bombardment into this B site. Kenzie is going to be tagged to 12 health, so he finds nothing.
Dude, Jesus, what is this?
They find nothing.
Oh man, that came in. Tactics, the frags, it all coalesced within seconds, man. That was perfect read on the setup. Always nice to have a nice demo round to start the game off. That's a hot start on the pistol. Not fun to get called out like that.
Nades over the top, perfect. And that's how Kenzie goes down to 12 HP. Vinny comes in, quick couple of headshots with it.
There's layers to that too. The fact that they set up those nades, the 2 nades instead of 3, and they had 3 in the pack coming out of short tunnel at the exact same moment.
That one's got a bit of a message attached to it, dude. Incredibly impressive pace to the pistol, and now we just look to convert it.
Yeah, we'll have Imperial doing a lot of searching on the map. They've been defaulting a ton, which translates well over to Overpass. Can feel like quite a vast map. The only idea here for forZe is Kenzie doing a lap. Ooh, through the top of bathrooms in Norway. Hits a heater.
Oh, huge though. Bolts trades back as he falls away. He gets him with the wall bang.
Wow, that's enormous. Now there is still Shelfie inside of short water, waiting. If they're careful, this shouldn't be a problem, but he does have this deagle up close.
He's not going to find anything with it. Fallen and the MAC-10 get the better of him. Jerry's going to try to throw his upgraded pistol to close proximity as well. FNX and Fallen starting to look up top. That's where Kenzie's deagle's looking to be primed. These threats all across the map. And Fallen's going to survive another test here. Bolt's still just lingering down in the water and confirming that there is at least one more CT down here. So yes, everybody else runs at that A site where the scout is in position. Flash and smoke force Zordy back. And with that, he's going to have to concede it. So nice attempt here from forZe, serving us up a reminder that, you know, despite preparation and game plan, forZe still have incredible individual mechanics and talent and potential.
Yeah, it's one of those teams where there's just no real bottom fraggers, and even Jerry is good for like a huge clutch in a lot of the maps that we've watched already. So now in this round, I mean, they only have these 2 guns to take to try it again, but Imperial, I mean, they moved at a really good pace. The refrags were good, the default is good so far. I think they'll be quite happy with themselves, and they only lost Vinny at the end of the day.
Vinny, man, I think somebody else who's kind of like, if we sit here and talk about how Bolts was always on the fringe, Vinny on Furia, not a fringe team, but kind of a player on the fringe of that roster. You know, somebody who maybe at times doesn't get all the credit he deserves or was never really set up to be a star outside of Inferno.
Vinferno.
Everybody knows that's where Vinny owns. So this is the one thing I like about this Imperial team, right? And especially now with MIBR being eliminated, there's only Furia representing Brazil at the Major. And Furia are the best of Brazil.
Yeah.
But if you guys go back and watch that, or read that rather, interview with Fallen, HLTV did an excellent job of kind of extracting his mentality that you play for more than just winning tournaments. They want to lift trophies, that's for certain. They also want to represent Brazil. Representation is important. And Fallen tries to really hammer that home. It'd be awesome to see these guys kind of come out from the shadows and be that second Brazilian roster in the top 16. But for now, it's an empty B bomb site, completely clear for the taking. So an easy third one. Those saved weapons from forZe not really able to position themselves for the impact. T-side very passive on the playground push. And for that reason, easy 3-0.
Yeah, you know, I had MIBR to win that last map, but that last series. But of course, BNE just showed so much heart, so much strength, and they leave Imperial as the one Brazilian team in the challenger stage to potentially make it through. And yeah, they're trying to carry that mantle for the entire country. Of course, the amount of fans behind this roster is just unparalleled. Especially being able to have FNX back in the server is, even, I mean, just for me, like, I just loved watching FNX play so much back in the day. I just had this shower thought where I was just like, man, getting to watch him play on Train one more time would be so sick.
Right, that nostalgia hit.
That would be a great show match idea, actually, for the Major. If they could run it back on Train.
I think the thing is too, right, whether you're a doubter of Imperial, and there are a lot of doubters of this project, because there are certain things that forZe has to face as being an unexperienced team, right? There's going to be doubters in that regard. The unknowns, the unproven. But Imperial also face just as much doubt for opposite reasons, other end of the spectrum. These are the has-beens. And when you see them kind of get invested in, it makes you question whether they deserve it or not. Why not invest in the future? Why look back? Well, they are 2 maps away from making a top 16 run at a major.
Yeah, it's enormous. Getting to the 2-2, getting to the legend stage, that says it all. It doesn't matter what anybody thinks. So here's Jerry with an off angle inside the bathrooms. He'll catch for off guard. It's a good fight for him, but Vinny finds the trade.
Although it costly.
Yeah, they win in chill, and they've established here. They're worried, of course, about the stairs presence, and you can see by the conclave of T's, they are aware of stairs, keeping it in mind, not dealing with it right now, but they made such a good pace already. There's still a full minute left.
FNX here, his patience. 2 CTs split up. He gets dinked down to an under 10 HP, just like Vinny.
It actually reopened stairs, so thoughts changed. They were potentially going to have him scale up and maybe hit the B site, but now Zorti is guessing what their next move is going to be.
Feels like it's going to have to be Bolts or Fallen to take that next one, try and open up a route somewhere.
It looks like the Lurk might get punished. They actually do have time to pull this off. Shelfie's walking. Oh no, he'll be the one to find a victim, and that's Vinny down.
Fallen hears that retreat as well. Quick sprint from Shelfie all the way to the other end of bathrooms. Fallen's going to clear close corners, 20 seconds.
Yeah, suddenly it's becoming a little slow. They've got to actually pick up the pace, and FNX is low.
Just get the better of Shelfie, though. CT's not yet supporting him, and that nade is huge. All of a sudden, the health advantage doesn't seem to be much of an issue.
Okay.
Fallen surviving further damage, and Bolt's still on 100 HP. Bomb's going to be planted on Truck. No utility to stop that. Zorti doesn't even have any vision here. He's just going to try to desperately jump up, and it looks like a save. With that kill, with that frag and that fire on the dice box, we have Imperial push past the fact that FNX is tagged, that Vinny was low, and that Fallen almost died on that entry as well. 4-0 start for this T side.
Every single piece of utility came into factor there. Even the smoke and CT, of course, if Shelfie had to be back dice for that play to work out as well as it did, but they had the perfect flash, and I actually love that they used the HE first as well. With the amount of time left on the clock, Shelfie didn't have a way to move from his position. So the late molly, all that extra pressure, he tried to wait in it, but there really was nothing for him to do when they decided that's where his rotation would be back to. That is a huge recovery. We almost got into time pressure, but that's because of the late push into bathrooms that killed Vinny in the first place from Shelfie. If not, they were actually in a decent spot. And look at the amount of money that Imperial have already stacked up. Bolts and FNX, nearly 8K apiece.
Backbone being established nice and early, and already into the connector boost. Door gets blown off the hinges. Extinguished is the incendiary. Oh, but
do it again.
An airstrike destined for Kenzie.
Oh man, but there was someone propping him up, and nordvy has also been hit down to just 16 HP.
Yo, these calls from Fallen out of the gate are so good.
And it's unconfirmed damage, but they know that they wouldn't have hit just one person. So Shelfie would pick one off, and he's inside the stairs. So now they separate his rotation back with that molly. Encouraged to come forward, but is this a trap?
Ooh, the flash was there. Vinny almost a victim of it, but he'll find Shelfie as Fur. Gets hyper-aggressive into the A site, opens a huge gap in the defense for that bomb to come over, and so it's an immediate save call from forZe. They know they have to concede this. If nordvy can hang on to the op with this M4, okay, you got something to work with in the next, but Imperial, we see the same nade stack in the pistol. 4 rounds later, Imperial again, 5 versus 4 off of that.
Yeah.
And that was like multiple boosts clearly from forZe. They were trying to stack one up inside of connector. They tried to do it inside of the B site. 4 of the 5 players preoccupied. And Imperial just dodged the threat. Hit him with the bunker busters.
They are moving super well right now. And it's so annoying for forZe that they get hit by the double nades because, of course, these are going to be random rounds that Imperial are going to throw them in. Right now, they're just picking all the right spots. That pistol round, that one could have been straight off a demo. This late one, just thinking forZe, okay, you give them a few rounds, see, maybe they'll try it again, and they hit right. And, you know, part of that is Norway here saving this op on 16 health. Is also a victim of that much damage. Imperial instantly on fire. And they worked hard and slowly for these rounds and actually came back out of a few tricky spots. I mean, they're kind of hitting a bunch of the metrics that are, you know, making you believe that they are just playing the best CS that you could ask at the moment.
So a tactical pause called. First one from forZe. Probably feeling red at the moment. Seeing red as well. Not able to get that sweet revenge just yet. CT side yet to get started. 2 nades just perfect. That was Fur obviously creeping up outside of the bathrooms.
Yeah, they're catching on the late push, as we saw that late push to the back of stairs. FNX was sitting in the corner. Vinny here calls the rotation out. The utility has been really good. forZe are making sure to continuously play some of these spots. I mean, they don't want to give up everything. This is a half buy. They're gonna have a, it's pretty powerful because they have the op behind it and a couple of kits here. But outside of that, only a single rifle on nordvi.
Push through that smoke pretty quick. Vinny looking to establish presence.
Yeah, they've just dominated short water over and over again.
Vinny spotted though. Doesn't want to stick around. Could be pushed from connector. Although Fallen is coming with FNX. Ooh, that Molotov problematic if it weren't for the smoke. Still, information being exchanged, setups being read, and Vinny sniffing out an opening here through Monsters. Sure enough, he has found this, and it's only Jerry watching with the MP9. There's 2 MP9s in this close-up op.
No one
headshot.
headshot.
The second player, this is going to be the walkout from Imperial. A clean walk into this site, but here comes Sorting with a missed shot, dives down into the water, and Vinny's got to be cautious as he extends into the crosshair, but he will get the kill. The only answer so far from the CT side is Kenzie.
Yeah.
He stops a player that lurk up on party, a 6th from Imperial.
That was great too. I mean, all we saw there was a default stairs control, and then as soon as that molly got smoked out, because they could have run for it, they had an idea. Maybe they're too stuck in the stairs, and they used that smoke against them, right? It cuts off their rotation out into short to help B, and they pendulum around through spawn. Vinny takes the lead. Entry's extremely sharp, and another really kind of composed round from Imperial. But they're putting the puzzle pieces together consistently.
Calling's looking really smooth, you know? And what's really cool about this one is obviously Vinny, he gets jump spotted with the addition of that connector information. He's the person who just slides out through Monster, and Fallen recently giving praise to Vinny and to Bolts for being these kinds of secondary callers within this Imperial system. Says that it allows for Fallen to just kind of focus on the crosshair of the op a little more. So if Vinny's finding these openings, calling them, and everybody follows right suit, I mean, Imperial, that's smooth as can be at the moment. We just kind of sit here waiting for forZe to get this ball rolling because, of course, this is a team that qualified through the RMR with a near-flawless run. 2-0 out of the gate in the first stage, and third chance, man. Third and final chance, and they're 6 rounds down at the start of the series. Grenades didn't hit their mark this time around.
But it's the audio. You know, it's just the notion that, okay, you keep trying that, we're not actually done. We're going to keep throwing those over and over again. Zordy's going to eat the full brunt of this flash, and he's really playing by himself here. He can fall back, but there is a timing inside of the bathroom, so it's really unsafe for him. His rotation will get harder. More stairs pressure comes down, and Kenzie wins his duel. Blind, but pulls it off.
Pretty critical headshot.
And just like we saw in the last round, now the rotation up the stairs has been hindered. They're being babysat right now.
Yeah, Bolts, he smokes off connector door just in case there's any kind of assist. Vinny, oh, nice shot into Jerry, that answer.
Jesus.
As he snapped it up, hunting the player down beneath instead, and Fur, it's the perfect support.
Oh, this is an unreal level right now. This is from the 4v5. Well, we're crossing that critical moment, and Shelfie wants to get back to the site. He's too uncomfortable. And Imperial, now they've got the keys. They've just got to turn him.
Deep into the monster. Lots of players coming at him, but he does have this little bit of sanctuary here. He's tough. It goes unchecked, but Bolts with the quick trade and Fallen the quicker cover. Imperial, 7 terrorist rounds straight, and every issue that forZe try to throw at them, it seems like Imperial have this instant response.
Yeah, there was a disconnect there with forZe because they actually did have the op out towards A, but it was alone. It was there on long. It was trying to take a fight. And Zorti, in his rotation back, they didn't even have anyone inside of bathrooms, no one spotting balloons, no one covering the top of stairs at all. So he couldn't even come to assist anybody rotating out of stairs. And that left 2 players down there in a position where they don't have great fights. The longer that the round goes on, they grow more and more uncomfortable. FNX has set up a tent in the back of the stairs every single round now, so they don't feel good about where they can go. And then when we see this pressure actually mounts too high, now there was a chance for them to trade out at least 1 or 2 players. And I gotta say, it's not just the tactics. They are coming ahead in the kill matrix between all of these different players and basically all the head-to-heads. Imperial are fragging harder than forZe right now, which is one of the things that I didn't think was going to be possible. So at the very minimum, forZe, they're a team with no bottom fraggers, a roster that has been able to keep up with some of the strongest, highest individual levels in the game.
Oh, they're gonna have to dig deep. Good flash to push Bolts back. That's going to be him low and disappears through the smoke into the night. All the way back towards T-spawn. Connector this time, 0 contest from forZe. Imperial, they're going to grab this one for absolutely free. The A-site setup, not even bathrooms, not even long. It is inside that site that everybody's playing here from forZe, and that's a turtled defense.
Oh yeah, it's a turtle defense on low grenades. They come onto this on a slightly mixed buy, but just almost out of utility here. A single smoke on Shelfie. Oh, 1 of 2, excuse me. Shelfie still has his, at the very least.
Fallen gonna feign a little presence here. Op staying trained on him. That 35-second mark, as said, 1 smoke.
There's so much pressure on the site hold now. They've given up so much space to Imperial, even though it looks like they haven't done anything just yet. They can go for this full exec on A. The rotations are very slow. As soon as that CT smoke comes in, Bank gets mollied. It just comes down to Zorti and Kenzie right here, right now.
They gotta hit the shots. Closest rotate will be Shelfie. That secondary op trying to run, trying to sprint in 15 seconds. They're getting dangerously close to the site, and it's an insta-kill from Fallen. Kenzie in the corner, kills the front runner, 8 seconds left as bomb gets dropped. Kenzie's got the kills and a chance at the ace, but still they fight on with no time. Flanked. If it's not Kenzie, then it's not forZe.
Wow.
Imperial no longer flawless.
Well, at least we get a glimmer of the X factor. Okay, that's a huge play from Kenzie in a position where they had a very uninspired setup, and it came down to him holding an angle that's favored for 1 fight. But as soon as you get that first one, you've got nowhere else to go. He had to make sure it was instant first bullet headshot after the next. And if he didn't get all 3 kills, that bomb would have gone down and it would have been right back to Imperial winning the round. So enormous. But they have to ride that momentum and they have to come through with better ideas.
Yes.
Oh! God, they threw a flash. Kenzie turned from it. And he was just rifling over top of the smoke where you normally put an op up.
To take down the guy who just gave the star-studded performance. He's not alone here. forZe still flirting with 3 CTs around this A site. 2 of them just locked into the upper bathrooms. But, I mean, for all Imperial, no, just walk right by it.
Yeah. The op from Zorti is trying to support. He doesn't really need to go long, though, with the 2 players in bathrooms, so he's going to stick around. But look at this. They have no idea. This is a furious strat, walking up bathrooms off that first kill. Gotta believe Vinny took part in this, but there's still 2 players on A.
Oh, Vinny gets stuck between those 2 CTs. Bomb still planted. Fur, unsuspecting. As Jerry comes in with a critical kill, but Boltsy's got this flank, and even that gets covered. He's dinked, but still able to catch Jerry. Shelfie incredibly close to sight. NaVi already rotating up, and these last 2 CTs need to be the difference, or else it's forZe with the 1 off. And Imperial with the 3 back in bathrooms. Oh, but Fallen gets caught as Shelfie goes over top of it. Norby's going to try to maybe add a little pressure to the situation. FNX, great coverage. It's low HP on the final T, and Norby's sticking this bomb. Bolts, ice cold, as he sees the back of Norby's legs and the back of forZe's only round win. 8 to the board for Imperial.
Man, what are we watching right now? That's actually insane. They played that to perfection. And there was one mistake there from Kenzie. It gets punished, and they pull the perfect call of walking outside the bathrooms. I guarantee you they follow the frag right there. The two players in a lot of these positions, the couple of CTs that are working together are almost always lost. They don't realize they're being surrounded. They're not holding extraneous pressure on their positions. Instead, they're sitting inside of them and waiting for the action to come to them. And Imperial know exactly what to do with that space. They demonstrated that a number of times now.
Oh, the Deagle's not going to find a thing for insta headshot. CZ starts to push up. Oh, and he gets it in the back. FNX. See ya later, Shalfie. Thought Jerry was going to give cover. Oh, but Kenzie still got some kind of an answer here. Drops the bomb carrier. Could make things interesting.
Yeah, that'll shake him up a little bit.
But interesting, not necessarily competitive. Kenzie continues closer. And Bolt is going to have support in a second. Vinny coming around the fountain.
Yeah, they've got both his exit and his fall back. And oh my God,
Kenzie
letting it ring off.
Not going to expect that third piece in Vinny to trade so closely. And now nordvy, that would have been heard by the player at the top of Con, so FNX can lock this in. Bomb can just sprint over towards the A site, and Imperial will be locking in a 9th round, barring some theatrics from nordvy. But nope, he's going to just move that M4 forward, and Imperial with a world-class T-side right now on Overpass.
There's actually nothing that you can say that they're doing badly. They're executing things so well. We're seeing pressure throughout each of the moments of these rounds. They're making good time. They got close to time trouble, but never exactly. Kenzie's one heroic hold is the reason they were able to win a single round so far. And if not for that, the rest of the round, you would give it to Imperial overall. They've been isolating the engagements. They've been reading the map really well. They've been finding the CT setups, and they're targeting and showing us that by picking all the right rounds to nade the boost, to take over short water. We're almost never seeing a dry engagement. I mean, seriously, the utility has been the most impressive part.
FNX back in the server.
It's crazy to see that.
Yeah, isn't it?
Oh, we haven't got the chance to cast him, and man, I don't even know if I did, you know, even way back then. Like I might have, but it was so long ago that he was playing in those majors, and
you weren't casting them.
I might have not been. I don't even know. Like it was, yeah, I wasn't casting those majors. Yeah.
All right, man. 8-round lead from Imperial. We're just sitting here waiting for forZe to show us something, and instead, Imperial, are they just going to come out with an incredibly fast B hit after all this time, all this meticulous play towards connector and A, and it's just deep in B already. nordvy has not been spotted, but Vinny finds him over the side of that smoke. Shalfie with the only kill so far. Zordy, he's going to try to get the op in heaven, but bomb's already planted by the time he finds any kind of an angle, and he doesn't find any kind of a fight. Bolt's surrounded, and yet still he'll gun down Kenzie, turns it back on Monster, and loses the fight to Jerry. The op in Zordy trying to apply pressure. Next to him was Shalfie. Low HP for 2 of the 3, and the Opera connects with the wall bang.
Yeah, retake could be on. I mean, time is coming down.
He starts to back away as Jerry comes up close on short. There's Fallen with further op impact, and Imperial with further round wins.
Damn. And all of a sudden, they go slow, they go slow, they go slow. Monster rush. They've done a walkout monster. They've done a walkout over banana on the outside of bathrooms. A full exec while running is something they throw in the 11th round. I mean, Fallen is calling fluidly at the moment. It's too hard to read. I mean, at this point, forZe have been fully conditioned. Like, it's too hard for them to figure out like what the next move will be and when every single thing has worked.
Just going to have to try and hang on for dear life at this point. forZe 5 rounds best case scenario, and that would include this one with 2 Deagles and an MP9.
They've had an op for a high percentage of rounds, but not any impact really with it.
Sorty's position set on fire as he falls back into the connector. Maybe him and Kenzie can combine for something. Got a triple boost as well, about to look over top of Monster. Bolts is playing that position very tucked, so unlikely that Shalfie finds anything. Connector really going to be that key piece of the map, unless
they avoided the op once again.
And the last time I feel like we see Imperial walk all the way up to A, it's when there is that upper bathroom setup.
They're making sure to get their footprints on every piece of grass on the map. Like, they are exploring so well, and it's just, yeah, the calls are so perfect. Another stair stack, totally avoided. Rotations might be slow again. They're playing blind on this. No info on A, haven't seen a T. Now they start to move in. Oh, Zordy finds one, and Kenzie pairs it with a deagle.
That's the kind of thing they need, and more damage.
Wow.
Kenzie again. Remember, he was the only reason forZe have a single round. Fallen gets the grenade in hand, but still recovers. NaVi point blank, AK headshot, rocked. And FNX is looking to come support and finds the back of Zordy. This looking like the 2v5 as Fallen gets a third kill in the mix, and Jerry needs to lead by example for forZe's most desperate second round.
He's cowering.
They don't know that he's here. The MP9 good for the first. Fallen staying scoped, and Fallen with an impactful 4K to keep this T-side rolling.
You're joking. You're joking. That was like his combat ops style. Picked up the AK, one through the eyes in the 2v5. Oh, surviving that. It's just a whole different level of mental battle right here. It was done.
Oh,
Lori had every right to come through for that trade. He was so close to getting the kill.
Fallen right back at it with the 2 op kills after the fact.
What a win. Man, that was just on the eco too. The Kenzie Deagles are actually unbelievable.
FNX just offering us a little something as he comes out of the top of connector. Really cool to see this individual level from Fallen. 13 and 3. Again, himself praising both Bolt and Vinny for offering communication and calling.
Yeah, and I mean, the only way you're sleeping on forZe at this point is you literally haven't watched the major yet. They have been taking scalps.
Took a map off of Vitality in a 2-0 game. Took a map off of Outsiders.
Yeah, they just nearly 3-0'd. That was pretty much the story with them. But here we are in the 2-2, and things are getting more tense.
Nice wallbang here from Zordy.
Much needed.
See if they can at least get that second round win. They've been fighting desperately for it. They fall away. CT's scrambling up. Imperial, they got plenty of time. See if they decide to commit to this.
They're losing positions to throw their nades, and they are now entering, so they can try to use the headshot angles and attack this way.
Zordy sits and waits.
We know they haven't been hasty. They don't like to move when they're not comfortable. And it's worked to their benefit. Oh, this shot.
Gives it a jiggle, then gives it a swing, and hits the head of Kenzie. Zordy fully flashed. Bird blinded in the process. There comes Jerry quickly onto the truck. Vinny, immediate trade, and Zordy has to give up all that bank control. Shalfie a singular kill as Vinny takes to the helm of this hit.
Another
42 health left. Oh! With 7 seconds, he hits that op shot. Vinny needs the bomb plant. They could just try to rush him down, but he comes off of the plant, not with enough time to answer a second round at least for forZe.
So many times we're seeing the op miss an opportunity, then the other rifler in the site just gets one bulleted by somebody swinging wide, and Imperial are keeping a good inventory of where people are, but forZe survived this one. That's huge. I mean, they do it all the way from the site. If we look at the mini-map, all the action going down here constantly is a very worrying side for forZe. Of course, you just have to look at the top of the scoreboard to understand how that's played out, but now we've got op impact here from Zordy, and at the very least, he did a good job of falling back and staying alive for a long time after getting this kill. This alone sucked time off the clock, and Imperial had to really have pressure on them to get in there, get the bomb down, and first of all, find the bomb. You know, he just goes fishing with the one shot through the smoke, but yeah, like even with that, there's just a chasm right now between forZe and Imperial for so many other reasons. So give him that round. That's not enough. forZe absolutely need to get these two just for the dignity for themselves. And the thing is about them is they've had so many insane starts to games. This is not what we're used to seeing with the forZe games. Even if they've lost, it's with 7-0 starts. We had an 11-0 start on that Dust 2 match versus Outsiders. And they're just not that scary right now.
Something in the water, man. Bolt's the beast. Fall in the opener.
Whoa, what's that? Oh, he was He was picking for Fallen. Fallen might have just walked into his angle.
Oh, Shelfie. Easy pick up there for blindsided by it. Oh, and they don't know that they've been seen by Kenzie. Fallen cut off as the third player to push into A. Vinny's just already inside of the site, jumping around smokes, and Shelfie's going to win that fight up close. Felt like Imperial tried to cause a little bit of chaotic moments across the map, and, well, they don't pick up kills because of it. 2 versus 4. You know, we already saw Fallen pull out a miracle of a round, and this time looking even more unlikely. Bolts, he's got the bomb, and he's got a chance at the B site, seeing as Norvi is down here alone for the moment. But Bolts would have to be pretty brave to just run in here and rock Norvi.
I feel like this A setup was so much better. And again, like, another look at the mini-map. Well, is there a chance that Bolts can get
this round's alive, but he's got a clear monster.
Looks like he's going to, but he doesn't. That would have been unnecessarily close, I think.
Yeah.
If, you know, if Bolts won that. forZe pull out a good round. And again, glimpse of the mini-map. Kills are coming down outside balloons, top of the stairs. Before the bathrooms action, there's more activity from the riflers peeking inside of bathrooms instead of turtling up and waiting for fights to come to them. I like this energy a lot more. Of course, also, even though they lost their first Opper over on B, Shelfie traded back with that impact on the other side of the map. So 2 ops work for them there.
All good things have to come to an end.
Looks like they might set up wait for some time to see if there's a late boost and attempt to punish it.
His T side about to finish. Norvi just got tagged up. A little bit of chip damage. Oh, Bolt, he survives the op shot. 95 damage on the sniper. Not enough.
Yeah, through the concrete.
It's such a robbery. And a warning sign. Tons of grenades, at least for forZe. But also still tons of time for Imperial. This boost could be good. They're both going to go for it. Everybody pressed up close. Little jump spot. Still can't shave those shots through the wall.
Well, they just continue forward with it. That's interesting. See if forZe believe they scared them or not. But as long as they don't see anybody here at the barrels. Oh, okay, Zorti, nice. There's Fur goes down.
That'll take off some of the pressure.
I was going to say, that could have turned into a monster walkout. That's the key position you want to be clear. Besides anything close right in wood wall. But it seems like the plans remain unchanged.
Just walk it out regardless. Pack mentality here from Imperial, trying to close out this T side. Short Molotov'd off, they can focus on Monster, but Jerry, he turns his back to it. Norvi, blinded, at least able to find FNX, but that's a bomb plant here from Fallen, unless that wallbang had hit. It doesn't. 3 versus 3, final round of the half, and Norvi locked into the water as a low HP Bolts comes hunting and falls for it. Then Fallen over the sandbags with a little bit of damage, putting Vinny into the clutch with a health advantage over top of what's left, and he has been so sharp. Flashbang finds his eyes, the bomb, and dwindling time. It's a nice coverage here from Zorti, and forZe with a little recovery. At the end of the CT side, it's 4 rounds at the very least.
Yeah.
For them, for honor.
Absolutely. With 4, we could talk about it. You know, that's a radically different half than 12-3, 13-2. So they win in the end. They figured out some of the adjustments. They didn't get caught off in the default as much, and the ops started to come alive a lot more. We're starting to talk about Zorti more often in each of these rounds, which is really important for forZe because he has been one of the best oppers in the stage so far. Bit weird to see him start, you know, like 1-7, not have any opening exchanges. But it is absolutely still the power position here for Imperial into the second half, the map pick of Imperial. I think we had a veto that was relatively predictable, which means the level will be high between these two teams.
Pistol round that could knock whatever wind is in the sails of forZe. They'd suddenly find themselves in a suffocating dead air. Contact long, falls back. Fur doesn't need to run any risks. Fallen, deep angle with the USP through bathrooms. And he too, going to give up a little bit more room here. Offer forZe some footing. And they're going to be happy to take it all across the map, in fact. Even starting to peek and pry towards Monster. A little re-aggression on long. It's where they saw their first player. And now as they go back at it, there's nothing.
Imperial are just hoping it's going to end B, so they can start to do the lap around bathrooms. They've actually made really good pace here, because forZe are setting up, but we're at 50 seconds, so we've got some things in place to try to slow this down.
CT's inside water. Barras start jumping over the barrels. Vinny going to be tucked in. Jerry insta-kill. Kenzie right there with him, and it's a smooth entrance for forZe. FNX, 1 kill, falls back, and that quick attack from Fur on the back. They're trying to chase him into Graffiti, but FNX is all the way gone, and Fur, he even finds a bit more forward footing. He's going to just dodge the guy inside of water. Now he's with them, but the gun goes dry. Both sides, knives out, not enough. Fur going to start to ice this off, and Jerry in the clutch has FNX coming back from the left. As Fur's attacking on the right, he dives into the cover. Bomb is ticking quick, but oh my God, they win that.
I can't believe they won that. That was 3-on-5. That was 3-on-5. They got both entries, and they moved so fast that even though it was searched out all over the A site that no one was there, the rotations didn't come in right as the site hit was happening, and you thought it was going to be over. FNX slows it down a little bit, the momentum, as they try to push into CT spawn. He works hard for his first kill, and then the USPs go dry inside the pit.
Shalfie just tucked onto the water. That's what allowed for Fur to come out from short the first time. Get that easy kill on Graffiti, run forward, just dodges it all.
The post plant was so strange from forZe. They didn't even set up in that position to take over Heaven and plant for it. You know what I mean? Like, they had to come back to the site to fight it in the first place. That one was very weird. But even in a bad post plant, having a 5-on-3, it's pretty much in the bag anyways. They probably felt like this round was over, but they thought wrong.
That's incredible. Fur just sticks it to him. And you know your heart's beating when you see that knife pulled out and someone running right at you.
Yeah, no, I mean...
That's insanity.
It's more than just the money.
Fallen with the MP9, nice and close and personal. With him in Fur, it's a solid hold on long. That's 3 immediate kills, bomb dropped, and no reason for them to give it up. In fact, reinforcements may not even be needed.
Yeah, this 1-2 punch, man.
Galil gets 1. Norvi still 75 health, but gets blindsided by FNX, who comes in to help out. And that is Imperial with a dominant start.
Yeah, with Super Dom. We're looking at 2-3 rifles on that round. Single kill. Shut down by an MP9 M4 setup on long.
Because the entire team is here for forZe, and
yeah, they got completely mauled.
Flash just no effect, essentially.
This just is not close. Damn, the contents of the rounds. Struggling to even find, like, you know, ways back into this game for forZe. Ah, maybe it's the Kenzie Deagle.
Oh, that was the missing piece.
Yeah.
Well, we know these Deags hit hard, but do they hit often enough? For now, it's Jerry down, and clean one from Fur. Imperial look for a 10-round lead and a 14-4 score over forZe on Overpass. Dude, it feels like they've been prepping for this map for decades.
Yeah, yeah. Well, this is, yeah, it's always been a home map. I mean, both Furia and all of Fallen's teams have played Overpass. Right? He's had some of his biggest games here on this map. I'm not surprised to see it come into play for them.
Look at that. Lines them up, splatters them. Who's having a party? Brazil.
Yeah, a huge
right
party.
Now,
yeah,
Brazil.
I think this is the Brazilian storm that they've been talking about.
Oh, it finally showed up.
Well, it's this. Yeah, this is the last chance for the storm. 2-2 matchup here. MIBR already going down. Imperial trying to keep the fire going.
Oh, right now, nice. Got you, Jerry. Oh, And then he spams into bolts. So sick. What a round from Jerry. The double head hop into the smoke spam. You take what you can get at this point. 5 versus 4.
Miss smoke here to B. At this point, though, you might think it's a lure, just because everything from Imperial has just been screwing with their heads. You know, the one time they miss a grenade, it's suddenly looks like a warning sign instead of an invitation. But they miss their own smoke. And Fallen will say, okay. Because he's the one who's holding the confidence right now. And he'll search this out on there. Stacked in the right location. Thing about overpasses, you have to, maintain some presence. It just becomes too obvious because the rotation is too long to go to the other side of the map. And I think forZe seeing these re-smokes into Monster, they can feel that they're running into a stack. But, they find that first one.
That helps. Nice clean entry. Vinny going to be blinded on these fallback. Norby, bomb carrier, cut off. And with 20 seconds left, Vinny putting up a damn fight. Bomb will be planted safely behind the cover, and Fallen nowhere to be found. So this is a 5th from forZe. But remember how it all gets kicked off, right? Missed smoke towards long, and Jerry just spamming bolts through a smoke grenade.
Yeah,
it's not one of those setups that forZe will be able to lean back onto.
Yeah, but at least what we see is on this T side, really strong entry work, and that's the highest on the list of talking points for forZe when it comes to their AK players, basically, that just are so good at finding leverage in a meta that is leaning so hard towards the CT side.
Terrorists win.
Could drop 2 platitudes, but just, it was a drop in the bucket, but we'll see if it's a flash in the pan. Okay.
I'm so happy we have that. Thank you, guys. I was curious if you just really go all the way in, but look at this. Waits, and that 6th sense, man, just tingles. Take what you can get. Oh, missed incendiary.
Did they try to do the running mollies?
Looked like it. FNX peppering through the walls. forZe with a near non-existent margin of error, and a little patience this time as they're going to have to wait out these smokes. Kenzie on the hunt, moving past party. We do have Fur actually coming closer around the bathrooms, making a bunch of sound, and if he assumes that's clear, then Fallen could be caught off, but he sees it, misses his chance at cutting down Kenzie. A single bullet, all he had to work with. Fur here to trade, and sure enough, you'll find it, despite a lot of damage. Then instantly, they're going to try to transition through that monster, and Jerry also takes one to the face.
Yeah, that had to peel back. They lost that opportunity. Oh, they'll leave Shelfie out with the lurk smoke. Fur's got an op sitting on the site, and he hits his shot, and FNX will find a nade kill.
They need that.
This is Imperial looking at match points.
And Jerry goes all the way back to spawn to grab bomb. By the time he comes back to B, he's lost half his teammates.
Yeah. 90% of his health.
What a crucial shot for Fur to hit there.
Yeah, seriously.
Without him, A-site's entirely in question.
Defended the trade, that's Kenzie. He was trying to do a lot by himself. He took the opera out, and instead of working the rifles back, he already heard Fur earlier go for the flash repeak, so he thought he would have an edge. But that was 2 players who basically knew where the other one was. He signed up for the honest duel, and Fur won Fight Club this time around. So that's 15 rounds for Imperial. A meter stick between them and forZe in almost every way, in terms of frags, in terms of tactics, in terms of utility, map control. Even the CT setups just look more competent than what we saw from forZe in the first half. Just a couple of rifle rounds deep into the second.
points forZe, 10 match points to fight against. And so little reason to believe. Shelfie looking to be an entry, tucks into the short water. Oh no, grenade's destined for him. He's down to a quarter health. And with Fur inside of connector, you'd think that maybe, just maybe, Vinny wants to extend around and deal with this, but for now it's going to be falling over towards Party.
Oh, he's trapped.
He's still able to make a sprint back here, finds a route to escape. That's ridiculous, and Fur will finish Shelfie. He had nowhere to run at that point. They flushed him out of short water. He nearly got back around to Monster, but just couldn't escape those tunnels.
They're making so much noise, even the B guys can hear them running up under the A site. FNX will hold.
From the corner, looking to lock this in. Bomb hits the dirt, and Imperial 2 kills away from a domination on Overpass. Bolts finds Kenzie's head. Zordy now showing himself, gets hit to 25 and tries to hold. Smoke ahead of him. Fur dunks it down, and Imperial with a gobsmacking performance on Overpass, taking Impact away from it. That is huge.
Yeah, that was amazing.